Hello and welcome to the Commander Budget channel. We are making this game affordable and playable for all people of any income level. Today we will be taking a look at Elsha of the Infinite, who is a Jeskai commander coming in at 5 CMC, legendary creature Djinn Monk, and she is a 3/3. Her ability says Prowess. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, this creature gets +1/+1 until end of turn, which works perfectly with her ability that says you may look at the top card of your library anytime, and you may cast the top card of your library if it's a non-creature, non-land card. And you may cast it as though it had flash. So this is going to take us into the first part of our strategy, which is Totem Armor. Now, these totem armors may not seem that great or powerful. You look at Crab Umbra for a single blue mana and you say, sure, we can pay 3 to untap it. But the main point of this totem armor strategy is the totem armor text on all of these Umbras. It says that this enchanted creature would be destroyed. Instead, destroy this totem armor. So we're going to be able to give Elsha indestructibility at instant speed at any time, while also buffing her with some good things like Mammoth Umbra here, which will give her +3/+3 and has Vigilance. So they all have some very decent abilities on top of essentially indestructibility. Now, there aren't enough Umbras to fill up the entire strategy of what I wanted, so the secondary strategy we're going to be using is other auras. You see Spectral Ward is very powerful, as well as just plain old indestructibility. Also, we don't have classic removal in this deck because we go for effects like Frogify, which are enchantment auras that we're going to put on other creatures. So when we cast Frogify at instant speed, we're going to be able to turn even an opposing commander into a blue frog with base power and toughness 1/1. In some cases, this is actually better than your classic removal because it's much more difficult to take off a Frogify than it is to simply recast your commander. And you can see that we also have some other effects like Reprobation, Runner's Bane, Trapped in the Tower, and Foul Play. Moving on to strategy number 3, we also have the Prowess of Monks, meaning we have these 5 cards that also have Prowess. So we're going to get these monks out. And just like Elsha, every time we're casting these non-creature spells like those auras we talked about, they are going to gain +1/+1 until end of turn. And they also have a few nice abilities on them. You see the Dragon Style Twins with Double Strike, which beefs up pretty quickly, even after casting just one other spell. In a turn, it's up to 4/4, which can deal for 8 damage if you can get in there. So there is definitely a sub-theme of monks, which we will see in our next category, which is more monks. So we're going to flood the board with as many monks as we can. And as you can see here, we have the Strongarm Monk, as well as Ugin's Conjurant and Mantis Rider. Ugin's Conjurant is a great monk because we can cast him at any time of the game. We can tap out our mana. Great Mana Sink can be cast for 3 to get something nice on the board for a blocker, or we can cast it late game to be a giant 10/10. We also have a few interesting ones like Wandering Champion, the Jeskai Infiltrator, Zephyr Scribe, and Ojutai Exemplars. Oh, so again, we're going to flood the board with monks while we're casting all of these things for free, and we're just going to have a miniature monk army out there ready to battle. Now, as we move on into our strategy, because we have blue, it is always smart to play a small counterspell package. So we have 4 counterspells, including the classic counterspell, as well as cancel, which is just a nice budget option. Negate is a little more situational, but that's also okay. And Counterflux is a very strong counterspell, as you can overload it and pay 4 to counter every single spell on the stack that does not belong to you. That can be a huge game changer, and these give us a little bit of control and a little more instant speed in case the top of our library happens to not be a non-creature, non-land card. So that's going to give us a little more interactability. It's going to let us sit back and build our monk army, which is what we want to do. This deck is not extremely explosive. It's a little more slow build up, getting value by playing stuff off the top. And so this will give us a little more sustainability as we move into the late game, and we are trying to sort of stall out our opponents while not looking like too big of a threat. Now, we are still going to need to draw cards, even though we can draw off the top of our library by playing things with Elsha. So we have a few interesting things, and even a few cards that's just going to give us more selection, like Portent, which is going to stack the top of our library, and Magus of the Will, which can just sack our hand and give us a whole new one, and also can be used to throw off other players as well. We also have things like Frantic Search, which is nice because even though it makes us discard, it's going to get us 2 cards deeper into our deck and give us that 3 mana back. We also see down at the bottom things like Opt and Factor Fiction, which again is more selection than card draw because Elsha is always going to get us really deep into our deck by playing stuff off the top anyway. So we're less worried about card advantage and more worried about being able to cast things at flash speed and playing things off the top. So a 1 mana Portent or Opt is just as effective for us as a card draw would be for someone else, which is extremely powerful. Now, no matter how many cards we draw or how many times we set up these cards on top, we are still going to need the mana to play those things. So as we jump in and look towards mana ramp, we will see that we have a pretty basic mana package. We have 3 talismans, 3 key runes, and 3 clue stones. Key runes and 3 clue stones, giving us 9 cards. And then we also have Mana Geyser, which can just be a phenomenal closer to give us that big bang for your buck kind of mana ramp. So pretty basic and simple package, very cheap, not insane, but these are also all cards that can be cast with Elsha off the top. So again, very nice to have those to be able to flip and get deeper into our deck, and they will decently ramp us. Nothing amazing, but nothing too shabby either. And 10 cards for mana ramp is a pretty good place to be, I think, especially considering. Now we will also want to, just to clear out our deck and finish it out and make it robust, add in a board wipe package. So we do have these 6 board wipes. Luckily, being in white gives us access to some very good budget options. Faded Retribution is a big end of the game play. Route, you can pay an extra 2 and cast it as though it had flash. We have lots of instant speed effects. Dusk Till Dawn, Descend Upon the Sinful, and Divine Reckoning are also great. And Starstorm is great against token decks, as you could just play 4 or 5 mana and destroy a few things and keeping alive a few of your own. So those are some great budget options for board wipes, and luckily we're in white, which gives us access to that. Now, as we come to the close of our deck and we've felt out the themes, we're going to look at a couple game winners we have. My personal favorite is the Flying Crane technique. You can pay 6 mana for an instant, which will untap all creatures you control, giving them flying and double strike until the end of the turn, which if you have 4 or 5 monks with prowess out on the board, then you certainly should have enough damage to come over the top and finish the game off. Also, Spectre Ward we mentioned earlier is giving Elsha +2/+2, making her a 5/5 and giving her protection from every single color, which is absolutely insane. It will take a board wipe to get rid of her, which is great. And then also Make a Stand, giving all of our creatures indestructible, is a potential game winner if we can combo that off with one of our board wipes. So these are a few ways that Elsha can finish off the game. She gives us great sustainability and great card advantage, but these will give us that little kick at the end to win the game. I hope you've enjoyed this video. We will always keep our videos under 10 minutes. You can also head over to TCG Player and buy this deck right now for just over $25. Of course, this is subject to change as card prices are always going up and down, but these are the prices today for this deck after shipping. Now, if you did enjoy this video and you want to see other videos that come out, be sure to hit that subscribe button. I thank you for coming and have a great day.